I guess y'all want me to start this out. Hi, this is Tim, and welcome to TW Controls, where we help you become a better technician so you'll always be in demand. And we have with us today, would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like me to introduce you?
I am Amber Wilborne. I am Tim's wife.
And who are you?
I'm Mary Bruce, and I work for TW Controls.
Yes, so welcome everybody, and this is a general Q&A, so feel free to go ahead and just say hi in the chat, throw it in there, and yeah, any questions that you have, feel free to put them in. We do have some questions that came up. Now, we are proud parents this week, so you are going to have to humor us through a few things because, man, we have had some serious events this week. Amber,
We have.
Yeah, what was the first one there?
The first one was our youngest, Wendell, who is 13, was in a science fair competition over the weekend, and she ended up winning first place in her category, which was...
Wrong button. But yeah, let's just go ahead and hit play on this so you can learn about it.
Where are you going today?
Going to Northside High to do science fair.
Really? What's your science experiment on?
The interaction between the magnet and aluminum foil electrons.
Wow. So what did you find?
It's most of the descent of the magnets.
Okay, show me.
And here you can see that it slows down.
It doesn't matter how many times I see that, it's just fascinating
It
to
is
me.
wonderful.
Wow. What's that based off of?
Faraday's law of induction.
Yeah, so we are very proud. She did take first place, and yay, Wendell!
It was very emotional.
It was very emotional. And then Michael came in right behind her.
Yes,
Let's
he
see
did.
If I can get, so if you checked out Eco Ask Why, their podcast this morning, then we have... Man, you gotta hate it when you hit the wrong button. I was sitting there and I hit it. My buttons are in the wrong place. Y'all totally thought like we would be right back. So I'm about to play that again. Hey, but we are not actually professionals if you didn't know that. So yeah, I got this notification from Eco Ask Why this morning.
Welcome to Eco Ask Why. Now this is a special episode. We're going to call this The Hero and the Making. And I have with me Mr. Michael Wilborne, who is the Industrial Sorcerer in Training.
Yeah, so I will put the rest of that one in the description. So let's see. Let me go ahead and do that. Get back to my screens because obviously I did not do that well. Hey, well, Michael, what are you doing on? What class are you in right now?
I know, I saw that. I was like, our son is on the on the live stream. Yes, so it has been a very busy week. We are very proud parents, and we are gloating about it because actually I was thinking this morning, I was like, did those babies really come from me? Because I was not nearly as
Driven.
Good. Studious, yes. Studious as they are. So, I'm so glad that my husband's a good influence on them. Good job, Tim.
All right, so apparently Michael is in CAD class right now watching this. So, Michael, my only question is, why isn't your CAD teacher watching our episode? No, don't ask him that.
Yes.
He's going to answer.
Yeah.
But yes, we are. We're very proud parents, which actually brings me to the next thing, and hopefully I can do this one with a little less clunkiness if I hit the right button, is I'm going to go ahead and announce our next live stream, which, we're proud parents, and, our kids, I believe, are smart. But along with that smartness, Michael has got to age 15. And you know what happens at age 15? All of a sudden, he's just sure he knows it all. So, on March 23rd at 11 a.m., I am going to do a programming challenge and let Michael try to stump me. And we're going to do it in a fun way. We're going to be playing Jeopardy. Now, they haven't given me a lot of information on this. I know there's 5 categories. I know there's 5 questions in each category. But yes, obviously Michael can outdress me. But the question is, can he stump me? Now, Michael does not quite have the experience he thinks he has. And so he needs your help. And so we are going to I'm going to drop it in the chat here. There is a link here that you can use to go ask questions. So back, where did my chat screen go? Man, all right, Michael, I admit it. I need you there. But okay, Michael's Programming Challenge. And there you go. So submit your questions right there. That'll be a form. And yeah, I am going to try to live do whatever he happens to ask. Oh, and yeah, an interesting part about this is if I don't do it right, I understand there are consequences. And I'm not sure what the consequences are. I'm a little terrified of the consequences. But I can promise you, if the consequences are really bad, there will be consequences for Michael also.
That's terrible.
All right, let me catch up a little bit on the chat here. So, have you heard of Simultech? It is a simulator for PLC wiring and control cabinets in various situations. No, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look up that later. Zaid, hey, great to see you. Laura Gardner, great to see you again. Jeff Kuiper, always... just a great, competent competitor there. Jeff and I, we're both in the same industry, and we talk probably weekly. And honestly, Jeff, I got some safety questions I'm going to have to reach out to you about. But yeah, if you have any safety-related things or control panel building things, check out Full Circle Automation. Yeah, I'm sure I shouldn't have plugged a different company. Is that what you're giving me that look for?
No, I'm not, Jeff.
It's just her face.
That's just my face.
It's just her face. Okay.
Don't try to drive a wedge between me and Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, when are you going to come see us? Or when are we going to get together again? We need to meet somewhere. All
No,
right,
I miss Brandon.
Do what?
I miss Brandon.
Oh, man, Brandon is insanely tall now.
I know.
He's like, I don't know. I look at the pictures and I'm just like, yeah, he's incredibly tall.
Smart.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Caesar, I have a problem. How? Caesar, I think you hit the enter button too soon. How to what?
Well, and I also, said that we love to answer questions, and the best way we can answer your questions is to email us because Tim is very quick to respond, and you'll get more information that way, and you can have a conversation.
Yeah, and while we're at that, let's talk about how you actually get your questions on this channel. Is if you go to twcontrols.com/live, then one, you're going to get our schedule of next live streams. And look at these two clowns here. Aren't they cute? I couldn't get them to take a serious picture. But yeah, so we'll post March 23rd, probably tomorrow, and you can see all the previous live streams that we've done. But right here below it, you have submit your automation question for the live stream. And right here, in order of priority, we answer questions that are asked during the live stream first. We answer questions that are asked through comments of a relevant video second. And then finally, if you're like, I can't find a relevant video and I don't know, I don't think I can make it to the live stream, you can submit it through this form, and yeah, your question may be chose to be asked during the live stream. How am I doing over there, Amber?
You're doing great, Tim.
You guys are always hamming it up, and now you're going to be quiet over there.
Because there's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. What's happening? What do you mean? All right, let's see. So Michael's Programming Challenge. Hey, Jordan, thank you. Yes, today is my birthday. If you didn't know it, thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. Oh, there's Amber. She's wishing me a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Mary did wish me a happy birthday.
Not yet.
And you're right, Jeff. We do need to get a family get-together, hopefully soon. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right, I have a question. Are there pre-configured function blocks to use for PLC Diagnostics and RS5000 Studio, or do you have to build them yourself? So most part, function block is just like programming and ladder or anything else. You're going to build it out. Now, there are add-on instructions that may have something you need, but no, for the most part, programming and function blocks is the same as programming ladder or anything else. All right, let's see. Some of our questions are entered early. First, we got Michael. Can you do a segment on flashing firmware updates? I have recently bricked a Micrologix 1200 PLC and can't figure out how to recover it from it. And that's a bummer about doing updates of firmware. And that's one reason you don't see a lot of videos on my channel about upgrading firmware is, yeah, that's what we mean when you got a brick, is you got a brick there. The micrologics are really bad about it. I don't know that you can recover from a faulted firmware in the micrologics. The later control logics are much better along with the compact logics, but yeah, it was bad. And I haven't had a lot of issues with the Micro 800, so I assume firmware updates on them are better. But you know, the question I always ask before someone updates firmware is, why do you need to update the firmware? Look, any comments? Are y'all just going to sit there and be seen and not heard? This is not like you to be seen and not heard.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't. Car ran real good.
Car ran real good.
Yeah, so
Car
that's
ran
one
real
of our very often commentated things is Talladega Nights. Yeah. All right, we got Mac here using the FSC instruction to inspect 100 Boolean arrays for changes. In my case, okay, so file search and compare instruction, I am going to play tic-tac-toe for robot soon, and I'm going to use the file search and compare instruction to do it, and somehow I'm going to try to beat the robot at tic-tac-toe. I couldn't beat him at Simon, so I doubt I'll beat him at tic-tac-toe, but it's going to be fun. Let's see, Chris, could you possibly go over addressing PLCs in one of your videos? Chris, I have some on that.
Yes, you do.
Let me see if I can find one of those really quick.
I think if you go first playing tic-tac-toe, you always win. So I think the key to beating the robot is just making sure that you
Go first. I was
Can you
thinking
win
the same
or
thing.
can you tie? I don't know. Somebody's got to teach me how to strategize tic-tac-toe.
What?
But
Oh, I can. I'm a genius at it.
you're a genius.
Yeah.
She's
Are
a
you?
genius at everything. Okay.
It's not true.
I played it every Sunday in church.
There you go.
I did too. On the bulletins that they hand out to you at the door, and then you have the little pencils in the pews. Totally, all the time.
All right, Chris, there is one on PLC addressing, so hopefully that can help you out with that. Joseph Pierce, hi Tim, please can you post a video on how to scale analog outputs? There are a lot of videos on how to scale analog inputs, but nothing on outputs. Well, Joe, it's really the exact opposite. But you're right, I don't think I have a video on it, so yeah, let me put that one on the list. But
You
yeah.
made the list.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, what do we have next here? Demonstrate having two programmers editing at the same time on a live PLC. Expectations and limitations. That one's from Mac. You know, Mac, that happens by Thursday every week. You come to our PLC training because that's when the lab gets networked together, and always, and it's not a particular student, just somehow a student gets confused, is online with the wrong one, and yeah, they are editing two at the same time. Makes some interesting learning opportunities, so you're right. That one should probably make the list too.
Another list.
I know,
Oh my
another
gosh, they are
list.
killing it. We love our
Yeah.
viewers.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's see. We did have some hater comments, and you know,
Bring it.
so yeah, the number one hater comment for the month. Don't buy from this company. They are not American. Their domain ends in .tw.
I'm not American?
Now,
Nobody told me. I thought we were.
I thought we were.
Oh my gosh.
well, guys, I guess the secret is out. .tw, you're right. I am secretly Taiwanese. And I spent $1 million on plastic surgery so I could look like an average American.
And you lived down south so you could work on your accent.
That's right. I spent years
In the
to
deep
perfect
south.
the worst Southern accent so I could speak like somebody that needs to learn how to speak.
Actually, we're AI.
Here's what kills me. Maybe I overestimate some of the viewers' abilities, but Tim Wilborne, TW.
W.
Wilborne. Yeah, I was going to say now,
TW.
since we founded the company, now we have two kids, so you could call it the Wilbornes. TW. TW Controls. And yeah, our normal website is twcontrols.com, but you know, sometimes I need to share a link. And so I use a UL shorten service, and it just seemed like it had a good ring to use controls.tw. Now again, I kind of think TW, Tim Wilborne, or the Wilburns. But anyway,
And
Here's what
Mary
kills
Bruce.
me. Here's what kills me about this is the link that the guy was putting this on was controls.tw/TMM, which stands for the manufacturer millennial. Who's Jay Call? So I'm promoting someone else with this link. And I do. I post about Jay Call often because you can go through here and you can learn about amazing processes. I mean, golly, what is that thing getting ready to do? Holy moly, that
Oh, is that shaking a tree?
it is. That's the tree shaker.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite.
We got wearables going on. I mean,
There's so many
I mean, look, he's promoting robotics. I mean, that's the thing that kills me about this. Oh gosh. Well, there you go. There's the exact hater that posted this. This is exactly what he looks like right now. But yeah. Now, what the heck is this? Okay, Boomer.
Oh, because that's a diss.
Yeah.
Someone's
Like-
dissing us.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
We're not boomers.
We're not.
Well,
We're Gen
no.
X.
Our parents were boomers.
Yeah.
J. Call, settling the generational debate in manufacturing once and for all. Register for this webinar March 8th. Good grief. Would you look at those guns on J. Call?
Nice, Jake. Nice.
I need to work out. Now, J. Call, he made a comment in one of my videos a few weeks ago and said that I had no legs.
Oh.
And you know, I think J. Call, I think he's AI. I don't see, there's nobody, well, Eddie Saunders, he's got some guns. Paul Lynn, he's got some guns. I don't think J. Call has guns like this.
Even without legs, I still love them.
In fact, you know something, I think J. Call is do what?
Legless.
Taiwanese husband. My legless
Taiwanese
Taiwanese
husband. Because we're not American.
But yeah, I think J. Call is not even a millennial. I think he is secretly a boomer that's had $1 million of surgery.
No, he is.
In fact,
he's
you know
upheaval.
something? I think J. Call was fighting Hydra with Captain America. I mean, with guns like that, I think he's Bucky. So join me on March 8th at 2 p.m. where we're going to stream snipe J. Call and prove that he is in fact a boomer and not a millennial.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Oh my
love
goodness. I mean,
But that really caught your attention, didn't it?
it did. That's an insanely excellent thumbnail.
It is.
I need to do better on my thumbnails.
Nice work, J. Call.
Yeah, very nice work. All right, let's see.
Do you already have a video on creating a bit shift on the Micro 800?
Yeah, I do. Amber, entertain them for a little bit. Let me go see if I can find that. Now, as much as y'all talk
aloha.
all the time, I can hardly keep y'all under control.
I know.
And y'all are sitting here just.
Because we're live and we're like this.
See if there's any comments that we can like parlay some comedy off of or something.
There are none.
I know.
I'm
y'all are being
surprised
really.
Jeff hasn't said anything.
Yeah, y'all are being way too quiet in the comment section. Man, what's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't
I mean,
know
I'm
what's
like, hey, I'm going to bring Mary Bruce and Amber on this time. And then. y'all-
happening. And everybody's like, "Pfft, we're out.
I'm so. Don't blame.
They're like, oh my God, look at these girls.
It's fun. We have fun. We like to have fun. Dang it.
We're not fun. That's going to be one of our videos. We're not fun.
Yeah, we've been doing a class, and you know they're like, when are your peak times? And I'm like, whenever somebody's not having fun in life, that's when they watch our videos.
Yeah.
Nobody really comes to us and like, you know, I think I'm gonna check out what Tim, Amber, and Mary are doing today.
But we're fun.
My life is great. I think I'll go watch some YouTube videos on control panels.
And go down a rabbit hole and then take a nap.
All right, Martin, I do not have one on the Micro 800. Actually, no, this one is on both Micro 800 and Studio 5000. So check that one on. I am that one I'm doing sequencing with the bit shift left, and so that should get you through there. Jeff, don't be good. They're never good. You get them riled up in a little bit, we'll have a good live stream here.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff.
Let's do this.
So, Mary, I'm just going to go ahead and put you on the spot.
Go for it.
How long have you been building control panels?
For a year and 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you learned? Do you feel like you're a control building expert now?
I am not an expert, but I definitely love it. And that's actually why I'm having a hard time discussing things, because I'm kind of obsessed with this one that I'm working on right now.
Oh,
So
really? What you working on?
I'm working on a control panel that has a very oddly shaped drive that needs to be bolted down in a really strange way. And I'm having to call on some of my art education to mark holes in odd locations.
Yeah, so it is. It's an insanely large power supply, and like many, we'll call them poorly engineered products, they didn't put any mounting holes that were easy to get to.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah. But yeah.
It really hurts our brain hole.
So thinking about like the utility of how to get that on and off is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds really serious about it.
Yeah, how you going to do that?
Very serious.
I can tell you're very serious about this. It's kind of wigging me out, man.
I'm thinking about things.
All the things.
How am I going to do it? I actually scribbled on the back of it to mark the holes, and I'm going to use it like carbon paper.
No.
Oh. Oh my god, you are so smart.
I like carbon paper.
Yeah, me too.
When you bolt it down, use nut certs. What the heck is a nut cert?
Fun.
Nut certs. Do tell, Jeff.
What do you mean?
When
Yeah,
you
Jeff,
bolt it
yeah.
down, use nut certs. You're nuts.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. And I knew it. I was like, oh God, we're live. I don't know what she's getting ready to say.
Hey, you said
We
the
can.
world is my oyster.
You said we could cut up.
You
Yeah,
said we
absolutely.
could have fun, but we're not fun. So you're right. We need to be serious.
Oh no. Oh no.
I want more hater comments
She's ready
from
to
my
rumble.
Taiwanese husband.
Well, yeah, I only picked one because honestly, the haters don't deserve a lot of attention. But yeah, so and sometimes we do. Sometimes we have one where we're really real on the haters. But yeah, I only picked that one this time. I could go through and find some others, but yeah. Let's see.
It's
What
kind
did
of
you-
quiet today.
It is quiet. Where are you guys at today? All right, so Jeff, we need a link to nut search. So let me just Google that. I'll have to Google it off screen because I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared of what's going to come up.
Most definitely. Way to go. Thank you for protecting us.
I'm scared.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm really scared.
I do want to meet Jeff and Brandon.
Yeah.
I hear a lot about them.
Jeff is
Okay.
amazing in so many ways.
He is, and so yeah, here are nut certs, and yeah, you put them in, and I think all of them are riveted in. Now, in our case, Mary, if we were going to the back of the panel, we would use these, but in our case, we're going to be using the enclosure, and we won't need to do that. So, but yeah, those are good to know about.
Good job, Jeff.
Imagine if you super glue a nut to the back of the panel. It gives you a larger bearing surface for the load. Well, if that isn't just like the engineered description, that just looks like
He sounds really smart.
he is. He should be on our live stream.
You guys should be
He
friends
should
with
be.
him.
I know. I really want to be his best friend. He should be on our live stream. As a matter of fact, we really should collab with him on several things.
All right, really, what do you want to collab with them on?
Where do I begin?
This control panel, we've already done it. He's already in our live stream, and we have collaborated on this control panel.
Yes.
Oh,
We're off to a
done,
good start.
Jeff.
We're done.
We're on to another
Not
we're on to another
dismissively.
person. Who wants to be in the next live stream? Jeff's done.
I have enjoyed making errors in control panels, and then also not having access to more control panels, so it just kind of like adds to the extremeness of trying to get it right and also being new at something. And like how you parlay those two things with your own like personal,
Struggle.
I'm doing okay.
Well, yeah.
I'm doing the things.
And yeah, we do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Mistakes are cool.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that.
I learn
Why?
from them
We're
all the time.
perfect.
Oh, you are.
No,
No,
you
you-
are.
I can't mislead people like that. That's not real.
I love that your part is going that way and my part's going this way. It's like we planned it.
mirror
or-
image.
Yeah.
All right, they're finally starting to get loosened up here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh gosh.
We didn't get a chance to catch up before we started here.
Oh,
so.
go ahead. What all's been happening?
What?
Oh, they're being quiet again.
What are the options available? Oh, there's people said hello.
Hello.
Well, hello. Who said hello?
Syed.
Syed, and then Jeff made a comment. He's talking about masters. I don't know.
Mama, stop sleeping, man.
Do what?
He's sitting on a job using G3 as...
Say a MOSBus TCP slave and master.
Oh, see, I choked up. Hey, where? I was like, man, what are y'all talking about? All my comments weren't coming through, and we just got here. Okay. Imagine, yeah, all right. Hello, my question: if a control logic PLC has a scan time of more than 500 microseconds or milliseconds, assuming the watchdog timer limits, and the customer demanded, all right, Saeed, why here? Well, there's a couple things here. Is why is the customer identifying the 500 millisecond scan time as an issue? It may be an issue. It may not be an issue. Now, my first thing, just looking at that, is chances are I'm guessing you have everything in the continuous task, which is something we do when we aren't really, when we don't have to worry about scan time. But most of your items don't need to be in a continuous task. So most of them could be broken up into different, what's the other type of task? My mind went blank. Somebody help me out. Don't you hate it when you're in the middle of a sentence and it's like,
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, periodic task. So, let's say that you have, some I.O. that is coming in every 20 milliseconds. Well, your continuous task is going to sit there and just try to run as fast as it can, but really you don't need to execute that bit of code, but every 20 milliseconds probably. So there's a lot of ways to break it up. 500 milliseconds seems like an insanely long scan time. So I think I would look at what all are you, what are you doing in the program that may be unnecessary? You're doing a lot of, GSVs, processor intensive things. Are you doing a lot of, maybe file search and compare every time, or doing a lot of data stuff every time that maybe only needs done on an event trigger? I don't know. Those would be thoughts to start with. Let's see. Okay. Jeff, I am sitting on a job site using the G3 as a Modbus TCP slave and master. Why are you still using the G3? I thought they were obsolete, man.
Be nice to our Jeff.
Syed's back.
Syed?
I thought you didn't. I didn't even think you liked Modbus.
Oh, this was a trick question. Rockwell Automation India asked me during an interview. I failed to answer and lost an opportunity. Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry.
Okay, that changes it.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, and I'll tell Rockwell this. That's a dumb question.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I hate that you lost an opportunity. Okay, in that case, what they were wanting to hear was probably roughly what I said. If you have one that, chances are that, now did they just, I gotta know, did they just ask the question or were you looking at a program? And here's, okay. I gotta watch how much I bash Rockwell on that. That's their prerogative, how they want to do it. But I hear these all the time. Well, I went for a technician interview and they had me take this test and they asked all these questions about how would you handle this. And okay, I mean, you think you just asking me that question, how would I handle this? I come up with a whole different idea than if I'm right in front of it and I got to figure it out. And that's why I don't think I think all these tests are BS. Pretty much that's the only word I can come up with. If you put somebody in a simulated situation, then one, you can figure out how they deal with pressure. You can figure out how they can identify problems. And that's when, I upset some engineers the other day, and
What? You upset some engineers. Do tell Tim.
I did, and I'm going to make a video about it probably as soon as we get off this live stream, because I got thinking about it. I'm like, man, I mean, I probably could have responded better, but really, they were stressing that we needed to do some training for their technicians online. And I'm like, no, you can't train them online. They have to come here and, they have to actually see the problem happen. Well, then you're going to figure out how they're going to respond. You're dying to say something, interrupt, go for it.
No, I'm not.
I am. There's no context.
Yeah.
Like if it's a fictional scenario, there's no context for anything that's actually occurring in an event.
Yeah, and kind of, I can't remember who asked it earlier about the simulator of, the real world, supposedly real world wiring. Until you're working on something and that wire falls off, then you're never going to experience that. You can't experience that through simulation. And I posted a picture on LinkedIn. Yeah, I got a couple of, I've upset a bunch of people this week. I don't know.
You haven't
Not us,
upset.
though.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
we're fine.
We're good. Doing great.
But yeah, I posted a picture of the back of a trainer, and and people are like, "Oh, that's just absurd. You need to get some tie wraps on that. You need to have some wire duct." And
Ooh, tie
I'm like,
wraps.
"Okay, I get that, but until you actually hook those wires up, and you hook them up wrong, or like I said, they fall off, then you're never going to experience that friction point that leads to learning." And that's why I think I responded to somebody on there. I was going to put them in the next PLC trainer beauty pageant because they were, they were all worried about that it wasn't all just pretty as can be. And yeah, I should have responded differently. But the thing is, hopefully we build a really pretty trainer. But that doesn't really help. I mean, a real pretty control panel, but that doesn't really help when you're trying to learn wiring and troubleshoot wiring.
And that's a distraction from the pretty women of automation. Why would you want to build a pretty control panel or trainer or anything when there's us to look at?
Now, all right, now they're getting cranked up, and I was like, man, I mean, it's like they're just going to sit over here, and everybody's going to think that they,
Or the Boxy twins.
I mean, look at the light behind us. Like, we're glowing.
Besides, I really dislike all those tests, and that's something some people have asked me, can you make a training series on how, and I can't even remember the name of the test, but there's a technician's test that a lot of people use, and maybe I should, but in the end, all I'm teaching you to do is pass a test. I'd rather teach you how to actually fix a machine, and in this case, I get it. They're worried about whether you can figure out how to manage program code execution and stuff like that. But until you get into that situation, that was a tough question. Jeff, get on with your spiral wrap. So Jeff and I have an ongoing argument about spiral wrap because, again, I want to be able to troubleshoot a machine. And you put all that spiral wrap on there, and first time we have trouble, we got to take it all off. But
more fun to take off than it is to put on. That's for sure.
But and that's where a lot of this, we do all these things to make. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a control panel shouldn't be neat, but it should also be able to be troubleshot. And I think sometimes we put barriers up to that.
Troubleshooted.
Troubleshooted? Is it troubleshooted or troubleshot?
Whatever
called it
you
a
would like it.
troubleshot.
I was going to say, whatever you want it to be.
English definitely isn't my stronger suit, so it could be whatever.
Look at the angels behind us. They
The
come
sun.
to take us.
Carol Ann!
Carol
Go towards the light, Carol Ann!
Ann!
I have to go.
Here.
It's really fun to figure out flashing lights and stuff. And the brief moment where you're like, when I walked up to this, was this flashing before I got here? Did it just start flashing? Has it flashed before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did the wire falling off make it flash?
And how many times we create a second problem trying to fix the first one?
Yeah, no, you start to chase your tail really quick.
Troubleshoot.
Troubleshoot. That was the next one. I agree. Troubleshoot. That's past tense.
Oh, well, I don't know.
No, you said it great. It was good.
Spring terminals or screw terminals?
Oh God.
So I do have a very strong opinion on this, and that's because I took a butt whipping on this 20 or so years ago. Screw terminals are great as long as they are properly torqued and you don't have a particularly high vibration application. We had a machine, though, that literally every month the screws would come loose in. And it just had that perfect harmonics to back those screws out. And so I switched to spring terminals then because, you know, it can vibrate all at once, but as long as that spring's keeping tension on it, you're good. Also, and whether this is good or bad, if you have a situation that heats that wire up, on a screw terminal, when it heats it up, it's going to bend that metal. And then as it cools back down, the copper is going to go back to being small, and that terminal is going to be loose after that. Whereas on a spring terminal, if it heats up, it's going to expand, it's going to push that spring back. But when it cools back down, it's going to come back up against it. So,
I love the name of Bangers and Mash.
I didn't really have good breakfast this morning. Why
And
would
that
you
sounds
do that?
amazing.
I know.
I'm sitting here thinking, where could we get Bangers and Mash here in Taiwanese?
Epcot Center.
Epcot Center. Thank you. Thank you. So Bangers and Mash says, I had a trainer board and a trainer, he would tell you to walk away and mess with wiring. Motor parameters on a 525. That was the closest I got to wires falling off.
Yeah, I mean, and really, that's a real life scenario
Yeah.
that happens every other class here. And I want to do a video kind of warning not to do this. I haven't figured out exactly how to do it. But when we go up to a machine and we can't figure out it right away, why do we go and start pecking around on the drive keyboard? And I can't tell you the times that, you know, I have to warn the guys back here, and I shouldn't warn them, but they'll go in there, they'll start changing parameters. I'm like, why are you going in and changing parameters? The machine worked fine yesterday. But we do it. You know, we have a problem we can't solve, so we look to that mystery device. So yeah, those are real life issues.
Really want some mashed potatoes.
I mean, my stomach started growling
as soon as I read that. I love it.
Do any of us know what Bangers and Mash are
Yeah,
properly?
it's
Isn't it like
sausage
sausages
and mashed potatoes.
Isn't it sausage? Like,
Awesome.
I mean, like, I am
Sounds
starving now. Why didn't I eat?
enlighten us.
Did you eat this breakfast
I
this
did
morning?
not eat breakfast this morning.
Did you?
I had a Cliff Bar.
You had a Cliff Bar.
Yep.
I ate air.
Like a fish.
So, Michael Richards, Ver, FYI.
What does that even mean? I don't know
I
where
don't
you're
even
at.
know.
You're gonna have to elaborate, Michael.
Variable universal resonance. Probably in relation to the screw terminals.
Well, okay. For some reason, my
Okay,
chat
I
is
don't
not
know that.
staying
I don't know.
up to date over here.
You're
so I have
very
to go off of what
smart.
they're saying. So variable universal resonance, yeah, that sounds like some really technical term for the machine vibrated really bad and loosened the screws.
I made it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds good. See, this is what this is. Now, here's the Mary Bruce starting to come out, because really, you never know what she's getting ready to say.
Oh, God, you're like really smart.
Stop. I just didn't know what he meant, and I wanted to know. Fingers and sausage and mashed potatoes.
With a Guinness!
Whoa!
Oh, my
now
gosh!
we're talking.
Where can we do that here? Wait, Annie
Not
Moore's
until
is
after work
closed.
time.
Annie Moore's is closed now. So
Now I
don't think-
really want it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I'm more of a cheap beer guy. So the Guinness,
I love
I
Guinness.
can take or leave the Guinness part.
She's having a moment.
I'm having a moment. I love Guinness. And Murphy's Irish Stout.
One thing about me is.
One thing you should know about me is, next question, can you do a video on a project having PLC with a VFD, please?
All right, we got lots of those. Any particular thing? Let me see if I can find a link to drop. Let's see, we got a whole VFD series. So here are motors and drives, and this one right here hits a lot of those. Yeah, my chat's out of sync here. So all of a sudden, I just got a bunch of chats in.
Oh, okay. Because I love, Coaster BP says, I love that the three of you are in the same room, but it looks like you are in completely different rooms.
Yeah, if you didn't realize it.
There you go.
Here we go. I'm right here. There just isn't enough room in this little corner right here for all three of us. And Amber doesn't like being put in a corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
That's right. So we had to move them over there between that, and that way I can shut their camera off if it gets really out of hand. And, you know, we can
Dang, I
keep
didn't know we
going.
had that much free reign. We could have been waiting.
Now it's on.
Next Next time.
But, you know, and people, I think I explained this in when last live stream where the guy was like, you have a fake background. And I'm like, really?
It's not fake.
This is the, like, Friday corner. This is the
Makes me
end
wanna
where
clean
really
the
you start
tables.
barraging people with, you know, different communications issues, making sure you can go online. You know, if there's the control logics, usually I'll have some faulted program in one of the processors just so we can go through different scenarios. So it's the least used area. So that's why the videos are done right here. But yeah, so if y'all will point in your side, wave to them, that way they know where we're at. That is the actual training area.
This
which
is our
really, I'm looking
classroom.
this way and seeing that. And so yeah, that's where the students normally are. And usually it's a mess from the last class. So that's why we
But
don't
we
do videos
cleaned it up
over
yesterday for the benefit of this live stream.
Yeah, usually it looks like a hurricane's gone through here the week after.
Which is actually a good thing.
Yeah, I mean it really. We don't worry about, and that's why, you know, going back to the whole, oh, your wires weren't very neat. We don't worry about that. We want to get them in front of as many scenarios as possible so they can learn absolutely the maximum they can. And no, I don't think there's any learning in putting a tie wrap on a wire. That's just my position on that. All right. I mean, now
Okay.
all of a sudden my chat is here, and man, all right, bangers and mash. Yeah, golly, I'm hungry now.
So
Just wanna say that.
Jordan said a lot of techs will change parameters instead of fixing the actual problems. I would say most machine problems come down to some type of mechanical problem.
Yeah, and I use an example in here a lot. I mean, it is the most classic example. You have a key switch on the front of the control logics here. Oops, what am I opening that for? You have a key switch right here on the front of it. And I had a customer, the machine went down, and it was an all hands on deck situation. And everybody's trying to figure out what's wrong. And you had the guy that kind of knew a little bit about PLCs come up, and the switch was over here in the remote position. And he's like, oh, well, it probably needs to be in the run position, which makes no difference. And then he looked at it and he's like, oh, well, maybe it needs to be in the probe position. And all right, machine still won't work. And then he's smart. He put it back exactly like it was. But like I told people in another video, that is a 3-position switch, but it has 4 modes. And in that remote mode, it remembers its last position. So when he did this, he put the machine in program mode. Meanwhile, there was a limit switch pad they found on the other end, and they changed it, and the machine still wouldn't run. And they called me, and they're like, hey, need you out here. I'm like, I don't have time. You'll have to wait until tomorrow. So the machine sat down for 16 hours until I could get there. And I walk up, and of course, the first thing I do, I'm like, well, why is the run light not on? And I switch it over that way, turn it back, and we're back in business. So yeah, you're right. We create a ton of problems a lot of times trying to troubleshoot stuff because we start fiddling. And I have on our machine trainer, I have one exercise, and really, if you don't, we'll call it CSI, that's what I say here. So you don't gather all the information about that crime scene when it happens. When you go and hit the reset button and try to do it again, it does a completely different thing. And if you don't catch that the first time, it is near impossible to troubleshoot. So yeah, let's see.
Why are you messing with our fake background?
Yeah, well, so
You almost knocked over our fake background.
So here's the, and so you don't realize it, but Michael actually is in here today because I don't have the skills to do the videos like Michael does, and I am actually CGI. And so Michael has designed it where I can just come back here. I'm actually sitting at the beach right now. And if I place my hand right here and I just motion this direction, this trainer will move.
Oh my goodness.
And again, if I motion this direction, the trainer will move. It's a really cool CGI program that Michael wrote. It's well beyond my capabilities, but yeah.
So Laura Gardner asked, can the IP Explorer change IP addresses on the Slick 500 or Allen Bradley 1761 net in?
Holy moly, you're like way ahead on the chat. My chat is for some reason going way slow over here.
It's because I'm on the ball.
That's true.
It could be that. It could be also that we got multiple cameras and everything. It might be. Hey, I might need a new computer.
It's true.
I think I need a new computer. I don't know
And
what
I need
I
a
need, but
vacation.
I want the most expensive computer out there. Can I get it?
As long as I can go on vacation.
Where do you want to go? Like Denton?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I'm gonna whiffle.
Totally.
Okay, let's see. Where was I at?
So Laura Gardner, can the IP Explorer change IP addresses on Slick 500?
Well, how did we get all the way down to Laura? I'm way up here on Daryl. Did I already talk about Daryl?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, Laura, no. So both of those predate the Ethernet IP standard, and that's what is actually used to switch. So when you actually change an IP address, what it does is it automatically goes through 3 steps. It switches it to DHCP or boot P, and then it assigns a new IP address, and then it switches it right back. So without that magical switch to static or switch to DHCP, then you're not going to be able to do it. Now the Series D, I think it's the 1761 net ENIs, yeah, I think those you can configure over Ethernet, but the ones before that, you actually had to plug into them serially. I mean, they were brutal. And the Slicks, they just predate. Even the Slick 505, the later series, as far as I know, you do have to change it in RS Logix 500 and download the program. I don't think you can do it on the fly. One way to know for sure, and if you find that this isn't the case, is go to RS Links and go to Module Properties and see if you have the option to change any of the Ethernet settings there. If you do, then reach out to me, because it's probably something I need to look at. But my wild guess is you can't do it in RS Links, and so it's not going to work. Let's see. I still think you skipped over Bangers and Mash. Gosh, I am starving now. Yeah, I do know.
Like Band-Aid's only thing I have seen is they are just trying to survive because they cannot see the program.
Yeah, you know, and I can't tell you the number of companies that call me and they're like, "Hey, can you teach us can you teach our technicians a little bit about troubleshooting? We don't really want them in the PLC program." And I'm like, "Okay, you only want somebody that can fix your machine a quarter of the time? Is that what you're saying? I mean, exactly where do you want to draw this line at?" You know, and instead of worrying about them getting in there and messing something up, we need to equip them so they know what they're doing when they get in there.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
But let's see. Jeff Kuiper, 75% of what I... Why are you whispering?
I put my glasses on my head and she's
I like to
do that
whisper
too.
too.
Do you have glasses that you can put on your head? That works!
Oh my god!
Magnificent.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, I feel like I'm in the 90s.
Yeah. I feel like I have headphones on. Oh, I do have headphones.
You do have headphones on.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jeff Kuiper. These are courtesy of Jeff Kuiper.
Yes.
I kept he can call and I'm like, "Jeff, I need both hands. Can't talk to you."
And he sent them
Next
to
thing
you.
I know, these show up, or a few versions ago. And I'm like, "Oh, I guess Jeff really wants to talk to me." Okay, I get it.
That's really endearing. I really appreciate that. That's precious.
Let's see.
Oh.
75% of what I do when I get on site is figure out what others have done before I got on site. Yeah, and the one I still love, and I still get this call, and I'm just like, "What do you want me to do?" They'll be like, "Hey, we had a flashing fault light on the PLC last night. We went ahead and cleared it to get the machine back running. Can you come in and look at it?" What do you want me to do? I mean, really, at that point, all history of what's happened is gone, and yeah, you're done. Why are y'all being quiet again?
Just have to wait
Because you're doing a lot of talking.
for the fault light to come back.
I know, which could be 3
Tomorrow?
in the morning,
Yeah.
tomorrow, or 3 months from now.
Yeah.
I'll be silent. You go ahead.
No, please don't be silent. That
No,
scares me. I don't know what we're allowed to say on a live stream.
You're allowed to say anything.
Anything.
What? Oh my goodness.
Probably not.
I think we need to scale it down quite a bit.
Get that plug jerked out of the wall real quick.
So poor Tim, I'm so glad Mary actually came into our lives way earlier than a year and 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And Tim met her first. I was in Africa, and when I came back, he said, "Oh, I have a new best friend for you." And so when I met her, we instantly hit it off and stayed in touch. And I'm so glad that she's part of our family. Mm-hmm. Not just work family, but family. She's invested in our kids, as a lot of people out there are, and we appreciate her support. And Oh my God, is your head big enough now?
It is. It feels good.
Okay, thanks. You're welcome.
But really, I mean, Amber is right. We couldn't do our training classes without Mary.
Did he say Amber?
He did say that.
Is right. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to soak that in for a minute.
Michael, when we're editing this video, will you cut that part out? But she is. I mean, like training weeks. I mean, really, they were a train wreck the week after, before, because really, Amber does a great job at holding down the fort when I'm doing a training week. I mean, because one, you got to remember, she has an automation company to run, but she also has 2 kids to keep up with and try to keep going, and so yeah, she's just like holding her fingers out trying to plug all the holes in the dam until the next week. And so really, I told him last training week, I was like, this is absolutely the best one I've ever come back to. I mean, really, I came in and by 1 o'clock that day, we were caught up. No, so
That was great.
that's all Mary Bruce there.
That was fun.
Yeah. Let's see what we got going on over here.
We're gonna have to talk about something serious here pretty soon.
I know,
'cause
bangers
now
and mash.
Bangers and mash.
You got it. We are gonna probably have to Google the bangers and mash and find somewhere. Go find us an Irish place. Somebody, you want to Google that? Somebody out there want to Google Roanoke, Virginia, Irish restaurant?
Pubs.
Tell us where we're going to Irish pub. Tell us where we're going for lunch. Oh, let's see. Jeff Kuiper. Amber wants to come to Indiana and play at the Lake with us. Well, Amber, you go right ahead.
Just me.
I know. I didn't hear any kids or any
Just
towns,
me.
So yeah, goodbye.
I'm gonna hang out with his wife and all the kids.
I love the effects. Can we expect to see Luke Skywalker in your next episode? I probably could pull off something crazy like that.
And
Because, yeah.
I said, wise you are. This is the way.
I just, that's the way, there are certain comments that really just stick with me. Some of them I can just shake off. It's, and some of them are hurtful. And, those are usually the ones that you'll see me post publicly and just go ahead and hash it out. But, some of them are like, what are you thinking? I mean, I can think of a lot better backgrounds than this.
I know, but they're like, that's a fake background
Yeah,
he
I
has.
mean,
We're like,
honestly,
are you serious?
I mean,
the
Vlad with Solus, his background might be better than ours. Sean Terney, his background's
What were you
decent.
gonna say?
Just if we were going to choose, I think that we'd shoot higher. It's a beautiful background, but like if we could really choose anything, I
Yeah,
feel like we would like have a showcase of.
yeah. I mean, we have like a divider here that actually covers up all the junk, actually all the
This
drinks,
is the
all the
way.
food, all the spare parts, all the,
This is the way.
Oh, let's see.
Nerd
Oh,
catch.
yes, you are.
I kicked the table.
That's okay. Have you gotten the one from Martin A yet?
Let's see. RS500 BSL, I can trigger them in if the bit add goes true. Moves across the word. Yeah, that link, did you look at the link I sent earlier? Wherever it was? That should do the same thing. Or did I never send you a link? I thought I did. Did I send a bit shift left at link, Amber?
I don't remember, Tim.
Amber, I thought you were keeping track of all this.
Tim, you're breaking up. We need to go to a commercial break.
Quite of a delay.
I'm hearing a delay.
Back to you, Tim.
Back to you, Tim. Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, if you didn't know, we are coming at you from 2 different locations.
Over
Hi.
there. Further.
I didn't get you. There we go.
Further. It's going to be right here. Oh, I forgot there's a delay. So, like, every time he puts his hand in there and I don't see it. Okay. Should have been like 4 cups of coffee.
There's a very big. There it is.
Oh man, I forgot to turn the coffee maker off. Mary's gonna get mad.
I did. It's not the same.
Oh, what did I send you then? What's that video of? Oh yeah, that's the bit shift left. Then the bit add goes true. The word I gave I'm not exactly sure I'm understanding your shorthand there, Martin, because I'm not following the question. Yeah, it'll shift it to the left the same way. So, yeah, it'll do the exact same thing. All right, why are y'all being quiet? What are y'all talking about over there? Why am I not here?
We were trying to understand what you were speaking about.
Oh, you didn't watch my video?
You were speaking Taiwanese, and I was
We
like,
did.
I don't know what's happening.
The video was in the wrong language?
It was in French.
Would you like to give me some explanation about RS-485 and Modbus, please? I've been doing PLC programming, self-training, and self-teaching, so I don't really know what.
You know, I don't have any RS-485 videos, and I don't know why I don't. Modbus, what PLC are you using?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Yes, because I do have some Modbus videos, and Modbus is not that difficult in some of them. It can be a real pain in the rear in others. So yeah, that's very, very much.
What are we gonna talk about now?
I don't know, y'all. Like I said, as much as y'all talk, y'all are so quiet here.
Because I mean, you're talking about smart people things, and I'm like
We're smart people things in
Yeah, we're smart.
another
a language.
That's all
Another
right.
language.
I mean, go
We
ahead.
talk
Let's see.
smart people things, but in a different way.
Oh no, I don't do Siemens. You know, I can troubleshoot Siemens, and I could do videos on Siemens, but I don't think I can be the absolute best at it. And that's kind of, you know, with me, it's kind of all or none, because that's probably our number one question is, will we make Siemens videos? And if your machine is broke and it has Siemens, I'll go ahead and I can probably fix it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like thoroughly versed in Siemens. So I do have one here. Let's see. Hello, Tim. Thanks for your tutorials. They are really helpful, but I'm having a problem with SLC 503 series CPU. Run Force RS-232 and battery LEDs are blinking and 485 is solid green. Yeah.
All I heard in that was slick, run, forced, run,
Run
and
Force-
blinking.
That's, you know, so.
blinking LEDs.
I was like hanging on every word. I was like, run, forced, run.
The group before last. So if you get here, you know, we start out. We learned, you know, discrete wiring, analog wiring, you know, PLC programming, Ethernet, drives, all that stuff. And really, you get in 2 days. We actually go through 2 semesters of PLC programming, and then Wednesday we kind of start team building to figure out how to reverse engineer a machine. And then we start breaking the machine in different ways. There's 30 switches on the side of it. I think it actually has nearly 100 combinations of breaks that we know of that can happen. But sometimes there'll be a student that I'm like, you know, they really need this particular one, and I'll tell the rest of the students, you know, this one's for, you know, John. Don't anybody else help. And if they speak up, I end up snapping at them. And, you know, finally a group the other week, they're like, yeah, you need a sign that says go team go and run team run. That way we know when we're supposed to help and when we're not supposed to help.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, you know, unfortunately with your flashing lights, your PLC is probably fine. I have ran into this one time and I had a bad chassis. And,
God, I hate it when you have a bad chassis.
yeah.
Happens.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do about it usually?
I look to Mary, and
Yeah.
she
You gotta order another one.
gotta order another chassis.
out.
Yeah.
Them dang chassis.
Update your chassis.
Update your chassis.
Yeah.
Sir, can I get a chassis update on table 4? Thank you.
Okay.
How would you find out if you had a bad chassis?
You swap it out. You know, that's one of those, it's like,
Okay.
man, we really need a chassis error, but there is no chassis error code. You swap it out. And I hate swapping parts,
That's
hoping to figure
money.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's wait time, you know, because really you're going to order it because why don't we have a spare one? I don't know. We had never had one break before. Why would we have a spare? And yeah, you get it in, because really the first thing everybody thinks is change your processor. And actually, even I was getting ready to say change your processor. But I believe I've had that happen before. Now, if you can't cycle power and clear it, you know, in the end, you're going to swap parts. And it's a slick 503. You can get them on eBay pretty cheap, so you're probably swapping processor, power supply, and chassis and get it over with. Or, probably more importantly, you probably need to do some upgrades and probably look at the Micro 800 or the Control Logics. But if you didn't catch it in a recent video, as of March 1st, so in a week, the Micrologics 1100 is officially discontinued.
I was just trying to add drama.
I know. I didn't know if I was supposed to hold my breath on that drama or
Well,
what.
right now we're so hungry we're eating air.
That was another comment. That was a lame comment for that didn't make the cut for this one. Yeah, somebody said I breathe too heavy in my videos.
What? You talk at 100 miles per hour. That you can breathe at all is incredible. We should be celebrating that you're
see.
still with us.
I mean, it's like, am I
Should I
supposed to hold my
microphone?
breath? Or, I mean, really, at that point, I was like, okay, are you saying
Um.
I'm too slow? Because I get half of you saying you need to slow down. Half of you are like, I had to skip forward. This is boring. I really don't know.
Now
what
you
pace
breathe
to
too
do.
heavy.
I breathe
yeah,
too
why would
heavy.
anybody comment on that?
Yeah, it is one of those. It's like, really? I mean, did you learn anything from the video?
Yeah.
Or did you...
You were just paying attention to your heavy breathing.
Yeah, is that just like, was that too distracting? Or you just had to make a comment?
I had to make a comment.
William Monday, what a wonderful name. Can this power supply can keep you from getting online with the SLC processor?
No. As long as it's powered up, it will not keep you from getting online with it. Chances are, well, which SLC processor is it, and what cable are you plugging into what port with? Because I can promise you probably that's the issue. So a couple things. One, you could have a SLC 503 and you're trying to plug Ethernet into that top port. It's not an Ethernet port. It's a 485 port. Same as a 501 and a 502. They're both Ethernet. And then you get the 9-pin DB9 connector, and if it had an HMI plugged into it, then check out the HMI. I put money, it's configured for DH485, and you're not going to be able to talk to it with a standard cable. But yeah, go ahead and drop in the chat there what cable you're using.
You make my brain hurt, but in the best way possible.
I mean, you're not talking. I gotta, just keep talking.
Well, you were
here,
there talking, and then I was going to have a conversation or a side conversation with you, like William Monday. Does anybody ever come up to him and be like, "I've got a case of the Mondays"? Because now you can,
yeah.
but you can put a positive spin on it, like I've got a case of the Mondays.
Keep going.
I mean, I'm always squirreling. Squirrel,
Definitely.
definitely.
I still think we need a squirrel mascot for the machine trainer.
I agree.
I mean, you might want to design us a squirrel mascot, because yeah, that thing right there, if there's anything, it needs a name for one. It should be more than just a machine trainer.
So, Mr. Monday said had problems with 5 out of 3 and using the DH485. The power supply was the problem.
Oh wow, well, okay. I never have seen that one, because yeah, I was kind of guessing that it would be
God, your hair looks like
485.
fun.
I mean that. Yeah, okay. So I guess you used a 1747 UIC, and
That's very fun.
interesting. I've never had that one happen. That would be terrifying.
No.
The Cabinet of Doom.
So yeah, we have a machine trainer over here, and that's all. It's just that's the only name it's came up with. Now it will break every myth that you ever have had about how a PLC operates. It'll break every myth about how you think you should troubleshoot that is a bad thing, and it causes you to go on more squirrel or rabbit trails than you could ever imagine, because we assume things all the time when we go up to machine. Oh, well, it's got to be the limit switch again, and they go towards it. And it's like, no, you're going the wrong direction, man.
You've got
So,
chats,
I have chats.
new chats.
Okay,
Rodrigo
what do I have?
Brunamy,
Mm-hmm.
he's live in Brazil.
Okay.
Do you
What's
not
he
have that
saying?
one? Oh.
No, I don't.
I am live in Brazil and received one invite to working in Tennessee. Job is process engineer, but I'm working to PLC program Rockwell Siemens.
And Snyder.
Mm-hmm, Schneider.
Okay, well, that sounds like an exciting opportunity. Any particular question about it? What I would say is, I don't know how much experience you have in Rockwell or Siemens, but whichever one you know, just don't jump over to the other one. Go as deep as you can into the one and make sure you understand everything about it. In fact, that leads into, actually, let's see, I had a question here. Where did that question go? I done lost track of my questions here. Where was I? Somewhere. Oh yeah, this one. What would you recommend for being a first home project when it comes to PLC programming? I have a Micrologix 1100 and a Compact Logix L43. I have so many ideas, but no real idea where should I start. And honestly, here's where I would say do not start with a home project. Because, okay, that's neat that you can make your aquarium pump kick on and off, or you can make the lights kick on and off. That's cool, but that doesn't really help you, one, get a job in industrial automation, but two, understand the actual program. So what I say is, one, I have some great lessons. They're all free. Have we dropped the lesson link, Amber?
We have not dropped a lesson link, Tim. Correct.
Thank you, Amber.
And
Let
while
me drop
you
a lesson
are,
link.
one
Hold
moment,
on,
Tim.
let me finish this one. One thing at a time, because I know I am the worst about squirreling off. So that's why I got Amber here to keep track of things. But free lessons, go to these lessons right here, and really start learning the first instruction and understand it. I mean, deeply. Now, yeah, okay, it's an examine on. That's not that deep, but keep going through them. And I mean, go through the categories up top. So make sure you understand all the basic bit instructions, all the timer instructions, counter instructions, move on to move logical instructions, the file, go through everyone and really start understanding them. Don't program your aquarium at home or whatever home automation project you got. So, yes, Amber.
I'm going to jump around, Tim. Hold on just a moment. Jeremy Hunter said, I have learned that if you get half the people saying you're going too fast and the other half saying you're going too slow, you're just right. Thank you,
Amen.
Jeremy.
Thanks,
Good
Jeremy.
point.
Good guy, Jeremy.
Yeah, I did have somebody ask me if I had a bus to catch the other week. It's like, no.
You should have said yes.
We love buses.
And again, the question is, did you learn anything, or did you just have to hit the back button on the video? That's
Yeah.
the great question on that.
So Martin A says, I have a round dial with 8 stations camera at station 2. If bad part detected by camera, blow off part at station 5. This is what I use the BSL and RS500 and what I'm trying to create in NCC.
Yeah, just follow that video. That's what that video is doing. So in it, every time I press the button, it shifts those, and that's the same thing you need to do. Also, I have a video. Well, that's an RS500 though. You already want to get it. You know how to do it in that. It does work the same way. Seems like there are a few differences in the nomenclature, and I think I go through them in that video. Let's see. Where am I at, Amber?
Well, Satch M05, to keep everything as clear and simple for anyone working on things in the future. He said, can you talk for a minute about...
Hey, Larry, we go back around and grab that label maker?
Yep.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's why I stopped, because I was like, do we have the label maker? I really like everything to be as consistent as possible within our own panels and across the industry. To keep everything as clear and simple for anyone working on things in the future. I'm talking really fast. Somebody will probably say something. I often feel, as someone who has only been a panel shop tech for less than a year, like I'm trying to rework so many things in a 25-year-old company. Oh my goodness, we have been there.
And you're right. So over the years, people either label different ways, things get added, or standards kind of change, and that can be really difficult. In fact, we might as well show it. This is a really cool label maker we just got for this reason, because we have a shop, which is a way, and then we have it, have the PLC lab here. And just the other day, in fact, it may be a video I do, is my Ethernet cables here are not labeled, and I accidentally plugged a single Ethernet cable from port 5 to port 6 on an Ethernet switch, which takes down the whole network. And then I'm sitting here like, oh my God, we got a class next week and I can't figure out what's going on. So all that to say, yeah, labeling is incredibly important. And the type of label, there is a gazillion different types of labels, and you need to make sure you're using the right label for the right thing. So some labels are not heat resistant, so don't put them near a furnace. I love heat shrink labels. I mean, I just think they're great. Now they're expensive, and that's the first thing everybody says. Well, they cost too much money. Who cares? Well, yeah, I get money. Money is an object, but when you go to troubleshoot a machine and you can't see the label because they've gotten hot, or somebody used a label that picks up grease easy, then yeah, you're done.
So Davis wants to know if you have any videos covering our trig in the Micro 800.
Our trick. No, I don't. And I might play with those one day, but honestly, for the most part, I stick with videos to help you troubleshoot machines. So, and I'm not saying that, somebody that's troubleshooting a machine doesn't need to know those things, but usually the math doesn't go bad in the machine. It's an analog sensor that's connected to it or something. So I don't know that I would jump out and do a video like that. Okay, now I'll take that back in. This could be a cool challenge. So I have the robot tic-tac-toe thing. And yeah, maybe I could use that function on that. So I was planning on having the coordinates already done and putting them in, but maybe I could use that as an opportunity to do some math to make the robot draw out the tic-tac-toe board and probably beat me in tic-tac-toe. I don't think I'm gonna win this battle, but
It's not about winning, right? It's about learning.
yeah. So let's see where
John Manigan was...
Ravish. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you think we're doing great. I appreciate that. You go ahead, Mary.
John wants to know, do you or would you have any videos on troubleshooting and navigating around DeviceNet on old slicks?
I do not. I do have, because I have a class coming up that I needed this on. I do have DeviceNet now in here, and I do not have a slick DeviceNet scanner. That's the DeviceNet's one of those that I think everybody's always had a love-hate relationship with, because it was such a pain in the rear to configure. And then once it worked great until it didn't work anymore, and then it was a pain in the rear to troubleshoot. And that's why DeviceNet's not really popular anymore. So I might get hit on some DeviceNet videos. Probably I would do the control logics in DeviceNet just because I have that here, and most of that would cross over. But the slicks were, I remember what was that software? The DeviceNet Manager. Yeah, that software is brutal. But the RS Networks wasn't much better, and yeah, I could do it. I wouldn't enjoy doing it. It would probably be one of those videos that I don't look real happy. Because every time you have trouble with DeviceNet, it's just like, oh gosh, here we go again. Oh man, don't tell me it's on that network. You do, and you walk in, it's like, please don't have anything scrolling on the display. Just please don't. We're talking about DeviceNet. Do you have any comments on DeviceNet, honey?
So many, but
So
we
many.
just don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time.
Divisive networks.
Okay, let's see. In the meantime, did I miss your first question? VA3 VSC? I must have missed your first question because I see it. In the meantime, another question. Post your first question again. I don't see it. Came to mind. Is it possible to load memory to AB PLCs by parts, transfer only the latter? Well, you can do online editing for that, and I guess I may not fully understand the question. Not sure I fully understand that question. I think I understand what you're doing. What I usually do in these situations, if I have to download something, is I usually upload it right before, paste it in the new stuff, and then download it right away. Or I do online edits. That way I don't have to deal with that part. See, Jeff Kuiper, yeah, I love heat shrink labels too. I believe you're the one that turned me on to heat shrink labels. So I have you to thank for that. You gotta give credit where credit's due.
We really love our heat gun for other things too, like peeling off stickers and
Blow drying hair.
blow drying hair. We used to use them with resin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. What is the first step to enter an automation career? Well, the first step is to learn about automation. That's the easy, short, and incomplete answer. Really, though, automation's an insanely broad thing. So you need to narrow down. What about automation do you want to do? Because let's not forget, mechanical stuff is part of automation. So do you want to get into designing the machine mechanically? Do you want to understand the controls side of it? Since you're on this channel, I'm wildly guessing that you want the controls side. So in those cases, the first thing to do is find the PLC that is popular in your area. Not the PLC you can find on eBay, not the PLC that your friend down the street just ripped out of a machine and happens to have around, but what PLC is used in your area, because that's what you want to learn. And that's what people ask me all the time, well, should I learn Allen Bradley or Siemens? Whichever one's popular. There is no right answer to that. So find that and then try to get one economically. You want to be as low cost as possible, and you want one that uses free software. I can't, and I preach this all the time. If you are starting out, I do not want you buying software, because you can, even this trainer here, you can buy this trainer, you can sell it for almost the exact same price on eBay. In fact, I saw one not too long ago. They were selling higher than we sell them for on eBay. So you can get your money back. You can't get your money back with software. You spend $1,000 on software, you just threw $1,000 out the window. So do not buy software, not until you absolutely need it.
It's true.
Y'all are,
It's true.
It's true.
That's all y'all got?
But you're spitting out so much wisdom, we cannot top it.
We can't add anything
Can't top
to
it or can't tolerate it?
We can't add anything, like if there was a
It's
deficiency,
your
we would let
birthday
you
and,
know.
and you're just spitting out wisdom. We're just letting you be in the spotlight.
Oh my goodness.
More have come in. Which
Let's
system
see,
is
Jeff,
better
hold
to?
on, we gotta get to Jeff Kuiper, because Jeff Kuiper loves DeviceNet. He absolutely loves DeviceNet. Jeff, will you put that in the chat? How much you do love DeviceNet? Yeah, I know you want to send me a scanner, but I think you should practice with. I think you should do your own videos with DeviceNet.
Tim's like, I'm not interested in doing videos on DeviceNet.
I mean, well, and but you're right. It is. It's one of those we do need, because and I had this discussion on Manufacturing Hub with Dave and Blad. Is even if we ban, obviously DeviceNet is pretty much gone. I don't know of any. I don't think there's any controllers out there. Hopefully, there's no machines really being built with DeviceNet now. Maybe there are, and I'll really twitch really bad. But even in that case, we still have to deal with it. So you're right. I probably should have some videos on troubleshooting DeviceNet, because we're gonna still run into it. Let's see, which system is better to work with? What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I know I'm right.
You could have been humble and been like, "Did she just say I was right?" Yes. Which system is better to work with, PLC or DCS?
Yes is the answer to that.
Oh my.
So I mean, the PLC is, that's going to be your, I'll say your machines that are, I can't even think, I can describe the distributed a lot easier. Distributed control system, usually, I primarily think of oil and gas. I mean, they're big, large scale, spread out systems, and those, they're just two different animals, really. It's not that you need to learn one or the other. What you need to find is which one can you find work for. So don't learn DCS if everywhere you go has PLCs. I mean, if I was going to work on a refinery, yeah, I need to learn DCS really fast. I'm not that strong at DCS, so I lean towards the PLC. Where are we at now, Amber?
How do I find a job in PLC automation?
All right. Well, nobody likes my answer to this, but the answer is go find you a job as a maintenance technician and learn to troubleshoot machines. And you are going to get exposed to so many different PLCs and so many different problems. I mean, you are going to get up to speed incredibly fast on it. And that's going to allow you to switch over, and then you can be like, yeah, okay, I understand how to troubleshoot them, I understand how they're written, and maybe you find out, I think I can write them better even, and then you'll be able to write really good programs. Got any comment over there, Amber?
I actually agree with Tim. You need to get out there and be a maintenance technician, or have the opportunity like Mary has had to just kind of be tormented by TW controls.
It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
If you've ever seen, so I would suggest, and the best way and fastest way to become in automation is almost look at it like Survivor, where they put you on a deserted island and you gotta really just learn how to survive, and then.
Probably the best lesson I got early on in it was I was working at a local company, and I went out on a machine that was broken. I couldn't figure it out. And so I go into the maintenance technician or the maintenance manager, and I'm like, I can't figure this out. You're going to have to call somebody in. And he's like, well, you're all we got. Get back out there and figure it out. It was you stay there until you figure it out. And it was a great lesson in the end. It was really awkward at the time, and I'm sure I have put Mary in some horribly awkward situations very similarly. But really, until you're just like, okay, well, I don't have anybody else to rely on. And I tell Amber this all the time, I'll have a problem. And she's like, well, who can you call? I'm like, no, I can't call anybody. I got to figure this out.
That's because I'm an externalizer.
Yeah, but, and that's the thing. And until you all of a sudden you're like, okay, I have no choice except for to work through this thing, then, yeah. If you don't have to call a friend, then you're going to learn a lot more.
Okay, to skip around, how do I get a job as a maintenance technician?
Where are you?
I'm at the bottom, but I'm staying on subject.
Oh my goodness! Now see, you're messing me all up.
No, I warned you and said I was moving around. Are you there? Yes, we're moving around.
Oh, I have to be in order.
No,
I can only do step by
I'm keeping
step.
track of it. I'm keeping track of it. Answer the question. Tim, do you hear me? Tim?
We've lost Tim.
Tim,
Take it away, Tim.
how do I get a job as a maintenance technician? Tim?
We gotta go back to the
I was trying
original
to act
thing.
like the screen was frozen, but
that was
yeah, I
good.
couldn't hold of.
I felt it.
I thought I had to breathe all of a sudden, and then we know we have some commenters out there that don't like it when I breathe. So how do you get a job as a maintenance technician? Well, you'll find that the big thing that maintenance departments need that they're always short on is preventive maintenance. So, they're putting fires out all the time. So if you have a job and let's say you're just on a line or, you're on some production part, go ask the maintenance manager, hey, do you need any help doing preventive maintenance? And yeah, okay, it's not going to be great work. You're going to start out, greasing bearings and probably changing oil, changing filters, sweeping out from under machines. But start just doing all those little things, and eventually they'll let you have more responsibility. I know a guy I used to work with. He was actually the gardener at the plant when he started out. He knew nothing about manufacturing. And he just started, going in there on a rainy day or, in his spare time. It's like, hey, can I help do anything? And yeah, they put him on all the crap jobs. And over time, he learned, how to do it. And yeah, he ended up being one of their best maintenance technicians. Had zero experience though. He knew how to plant flowers. So yeah, just find that opening to kind of just get some experience in it. Take it away, Amber.
And look down, and also Laura Gardner made a comment to that, so look down at her comment. I could hardly figure out the purpose of the numerical terminals on the VFD.
Yeah, so you're skipping around, and I'm like so lost.
No, you're not. Just look into my eyes.
Hear me.
Hear me.
I guess you're talking about the keypad on the VFD, and yeah, you need an instruction manual. I'll say the PowerFlex 525 may be the most intuitive display out there. You need the instruction manual. Over time, you'll realize, okay, I only need to know P46 and P47 on that. But yeah, absolutely. If you are staring at a drive and can't figure it out, don't sit there and peck around at the keypad. Earlier, we were talking about that. It's the first thing somebody does. They go and change a parameter, and the machine's hosed. And nobody, this brings up a really good point. If people ask me, what type of backup program do you use for your PLCs? And I always tell them, not that you don't need to back up your PLCs. They're never the problem. One of the drives fails, and everybody's like, oh, well, I know the part number. I don't have a clue any of the parameters in it. Yeah, so backups, that's why I don't, a lot of times, people, they want, how can we automate this? Well, something, you can't automate a backup because you need to physically put eyes on everything and be like, okay, yep, I need to back up that PLC, I need to back up that HMI. Yeah, you got that drive over there that, only uses 2 parameters, but we need to know what those 2 parameters are. You need to write them down.
What type of laptop would be best suited for troubleshooting PLC? Will be able to stay with the idea in mind that I would need a minimum both Siemens and Allen Bradley software.
Anything. Just go buy a $300 laptop on eBay. It'll work fine. I do use VirtualBox, so Google that. VirtualBox is how you can make a virtual machine. And over time, because what will happen is, you end up with a new computer, and you're probably in the situation, I'm guessing, is that you're gonna have to load all this software. Well, only software I load on a new laptop is VirtualBox, and then I have all these images, and I actually have images that almost predate TW Control. So I think I have one that's 15 years old. Windows XP has a bunch of old software on it, and so I don't load all that old software on the new one. I just load. I have that old image, and I can put an external hard drive in, and there you go. I'm in that old XP again. But people are surprised to find this. I don't know anything about computers. Michael, my son, rambles off so much stuff about computers. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, man, I don't have any earthly idea what you're talking about. But really, a functional computer will do any PLC program to software. But that's kind of my thing on that. So yeah, I do have one. I'm like, and here kind of along that, I have, hey, thanks for helping me now. I can download my first FPS unlocker and have more FPS on Roblox. You deserve a like and save. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what an FPS unlocker is. If anybody in the chat know what the world that even is. But yeah, he asked for a lot. He said he gave me a like or save, so he made the liker list. But other than that, yeah, it's probably some computer term. I have no clue what it is.
I don't either.
Yeah.
What is the oldest PLC you have had to work with?
It was a Siemens. No, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know which one's older. I had a Siemens, the one that predates the S5. I can't even remember what it is. And a Texas Instrument, and I believe it actually was a clone of the Siemens, or one was a clone of the other.
A Texas Instrument? Like as in what the calculators we used to have to buy?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was nightmarish. I had never. So funny story about that one. It is a nightmare if it breaks. That's the thing. It's like, okay, those things are bulletproof. You get a PLC 2, PLC 5 even, those things don't die. You can't kill them until you have to work on it. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I getting ready to do? And so, we almost had a party one day because I went in and the machine was gone from this plant. I'm like, thank goodness they finally chopped that machine. And it was like 6 months later, they're like, hey, can you come work on this? I'm like, oh my God, why is that machine back from the dead? Well, they just moved it to another area, and they're like, well, it doesn't, it always works. So yeah, and they're kind of going back, plants need to have a continuous, we'll call it upgrade process. So right now, if you have an ancient PLC, I get that it works great, and I get that you're proud of it, but you need to have a path to get that thing on a new platform. Because mainly, you have training costs, and you better believe it costs. If you have two, and here, if we had a Siemens PLC and an Allen Bradley PLC, we just doubled our training costs because you need to have training on both of them. Well, if you got an ancient dinosaur, you better have somebody trained on it, or you're going to have to, one day it's going to be down. It's going to shut your whole plant down. So if you have that dinosaur, great. I'm glad it works. Fix it while it's working. Go ahead and upgrade it. So right now, if you have Micrologic's 1100, I'm not saying you need to go change it, but you need to know they're on the discontinued list. So that kind of needs to be in the back of your head of, okay, what are we going to upgrade that thing to?
Yeah.
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 It's hard, it's hard finding parts that are currently manufactured right now. So
Yeah.
finding that old stuff is nearly debilitating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ask you, have you ever came across the longest PLC program?
I probably wrote a couple of them. So I was involved in a project that absolutely has the longest PLC program ever, but it wasn't jokingly because of bad programming. It had 10,000 points of I/O. It was just an enormous beast. That going back to Saeed's comment about the 500 millisecond scan time, that was an issue with it. It was a very top-heavy program, so it had that issue. But I've ran in some long doozy programs, and I've written a lot of programs that are incredibly longer than they should have been. So yes.
Anything with 500 gigabytes hard drive, or get a nice external SSD with 500 plus.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with Eric there. I think I don't even know how to look at what size hard drive's in this laptop. That's how little I know about computers. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with the solid state hard drive. And here's why I agree with it is, yeah, this laptop that we're running on right now has been drenched a couple times with water. And when I say drenched, I mean like over 50 gallons and like conductive water. And it still runs great. And that's one reason it does have that solid state hard drive. You can drop them. They don't get as, abused. Now, people get into, oh, should I have a tough book? No. I have a $350 laptop. I bought it off of Amazon. I have a video somewhere where I talk about this. I even give a link to it. I don't know where it is, but yeah, I mean, PLC programming is not computer intensive. And even, somebody, I don't know if anybody's put it in because Amber's jumping around. I'm like totally screwed now. I have no idea where we're at in the chat.
We are back to our regular scheduled program.
But what was I saying before that?
Water.
Oh, ports. Somebody, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned it because a lot of people told me, well, you need a computer with a serial port. I haven't had a serial port on a computer in well over a decade. I haven't had an Ethernet port on a computer in probably 5 years. I used USB to serial adapters for everything. There's actually a lot of advantages to it. So, yeah, let's see. Where is? Go ahead. Take it away, Amber, while I'll go find a link.
John Mangan said...
Oh, you can't ask questions. I mean...
No, it's a comment. I didn't say he asked. I said he said. We still run into Giddings and Lewis PLCs. I have never heard of them.
Well, first, oops, that's the wrong one. Where's my backpack one? There we go. I'll drop a link. This, actually, and this may have a laptop suggestion in it. I don't really know for sure.
It does. I love how he looked over here like, are you sure?
Let's see. What tools do I carry? There you go. This is what I carry in my backpack, and it includes programming cables and some Ethernet cables. And yeah, apparently, according to Mary and Amber, it also includes a laptop suggestion. I'm sure the laptop suggestion there may be something newer on. But mainly, when you look at this, I mean, it's probably $350. You don't need to spend any more than $500 on a programming laptop. That's kind of my deal. I know some of y'all are out there probably like, nope, I got a $2,000 blah blah blah, and you're really proud of it. That's great. I don't do it. Amber, but I do. Hey, tell me the best laptop, because you're right. I did tell Amber earlier I want the most expensive laptop. And I don't know why I need it, but yeah.
You just need it. I
just need it for some reason.
As much as I need a Mini Cooper Countryman.
You're not getting it. I'm probably not getting a laptop either. Hold on. What was that though? Gideons and Lewis? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Amber, can you spell that for me?
Giddings. Giddings and Lewis.
Gideon.
Is it even coming up in the Googler?
See. Oh, that's bad when PLC software comes up right away.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, what am I looking at here? Oh, well, I want a picture. Anybody got a picture of this thing? Well, okay. Well, apparently this thing's really ancient because I can't even find it. Oh, good grief. What is that thing? Oh, no, that's not it. That's something completely different. I'd love to see a picture of the Gideons Lewis thing, but yeah, I've never heard of that one, so that's probably a really good one. Amber, take it away.
You can read I'm typing. You can read the next one from Alexander Galindo.
Okay, hello. Do you know why Rockwell is so expensive? For example, in South America, double the price of Siemens and Armor. Well, there can be a couple reasons. Again, I don't like to get into these things, these discussions, because maybe they are expensive. Or maybe there are some value-added things they do, and I do believe here's where I don't even want to get into particular brands, but I'll tell you that a couple things. First of all, certain brands, you have much better support, and flat out. I mean, and here I kind of reached out, I touched a little bit on this in another person's live stream. Free support too often means crappy support, and that shouldn't be so. Also, and I think this is one as I've gotten older, certain companies treat their workers better, and I'm just going to leave that one at that. Hopefully Mary's not sitting there like, I wish I was treated better. But,
no.
But I mean, there are, and I will, Amber and I do a lot of work in developing countries, and I'll even say there are certain companies using practices and claiming that, they're bringing employment to areas that I believe have human rights violations at their workplaces.
Yes.
And that can drive the cost up, the fact that certain companies are going to hold a certain standard that they, have to treat their employees by.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at, Amber? What are you typing?
Justin Parrish says, how's it going, Tim?
Oh, well, it's going great. Amber got me totally lost on where I'm at in my chat.
Not true.
But she's doing a great job. Gotta make sure I put that part in there.
Hi, Tim. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I want to ask if you repaired a PowerFlex VFD which had a cap explosion. Could you talk about that?
I blew up a 100 horsepower drive. It was not a PowerFlex. It was a horrible experience. I had to dig chunks of it out of my chest. So yes, I have been in that, but I have not been in it with the PowerFlex. It was a really crappy drive. And I'll just leave that at that. I won't name any brands, but yeah, that particular one no longer exists. Thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can't remember what we put in its place, but yeah, and that's we all do it. We kind of, just kind of laxed about arc flash and keeping panels closed when the safety guy isn't around. But yeah, I mean, stuff does happen, and you need to realize, especially on startup, stuff can happen. It can really hurt you. So yeah, keep the door closed.
Please make a video Factory Talk Fuse SCADA SE edition. Also, he's a big fan from India.
Oh, glad you're a big fan. Thank you. And that goes back to, I'm not saying our channel's not for engineering, but, we stick to more of those really practical experience things that when you walk up and you've got to figure out a problem, how to do it. Or, when you're getting started, we've got a series on how to, write a basic HMI program. But at the point you're getting into Factory Talk IC and everything, really, you probably need to go to, honestly, you probably need to go to a Rockwell training on that. They have, obviously we do training, and I'll tell you though, especially even on PLC programming, Rockwell's training is hard to beat on PLC programming. Now, I have a different opinion of the troubleshooting training, but yeah, I would look at some of their programs. They have a lot of online ones that'll work really well for you.
More birthday shout outs.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Eric Shields and he also made a comment, might be cheaper to import from European countries to certain countries. That is true.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things involved in there that honestly I don't fully understand, and that's all I can say about that. So we do have one here from Steve. He says, using a TOF in Connected Components Workbench Simulator, why does the queue read false when the program is first loaded, even though my PT is 10 seconds and ET is 0 seconds? After running the timer, it subsequently works as expected, just not when it's first loaded. Now, I've told you guys this in so many videos. The simulator is only there to make sure that you really want to get into this. That's the way I look at it. So you call it like anybody that calls me, it's like, hey, I want to learn to program PLCs. The next question I always ask is why. And if you're like, well, I think it'll be fun, then I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I want you to go do this and try this simulator out and then come back and talk to me. And really, after it's just to kind of give you an idea what ladder logic is. And I see this all the time. People, they go out there and they go to start a machine up and it doesn't work. I'm like, well, it worked fine in my simulator. I'm like, if you are starting a machine up, you should not be using the simulator. Simulator, you should be done within a week of learning PLC or starting to learn PLCs. After that, you need some real hardware. We preach that all the time. Go get yourself some hardware, then come talk to me. Amber, take it away.
I love your channel. I am a PLC instructor and a control systems project engineer. I refer people to your videos constantly. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very
we
much,
appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you for being out there and being a PLC instructor, and we really appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Well, it sounds like the chat is dying down, and yeah, I believe that I'm hungry from bangers and mash right now, and really I've been starving since.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
And more.
Was that
And more.
was that a joke?
No, because I used to say that on all of our end tags.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
And more.
But all right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Should have known they would
you.
embarrass me eventually.
Happy birthday, dear Tim, my Taiwanese husband.
Who has their legs?
Who has their legs. Happy birthday to you.
Did I breathe too hard? Thank y'all very much. I do love and appreciate both of you, and I love all you guys out there. So we will be here on February 23rd doing a PLC Programming Challenge so that I can hush up my son who thinks he knows more than I do about PLCs now. Till next time.
See ya.